The river's blessing. In the days that followed, the river seemed to bless the village with abundance. The fish returned in greater numbers, and the water was clearer and purer than ever before. The villagers, grateful for Keto's heroism, worked together to build a shrine by the river dedicated to Nyota and Keto. Keto continued to train with Mama Asha, learning more about the river's magic and his own abilities. He felt a deep connection to the water, understanding that it was both a source of power and a reminder of his responsibility. As he grew older, he became a respected leader in the village, guiding and protecting his people with wisdom and courage. Unknown to Keto and the villagers, a silent observer watched their celebrations from the shadows. It was a figure cloaked in darkness, with eyes that gleamed with curiosity and malice. This observer, known as Njomba, was a sorcerer who had long coveted the power of the river. Njomba had been banished from his own village for practicing dark magic, and he had wandered the land in search of a new source of power. When he heard of the river's magic and Keto's victory over Nyoka, he knew that he had found what he was looking for. Determined to claim the river's power for himself, Njomba began to devise a plan. He knew that Keto would be a formidable opponent, but he was confident in his own abilities and cunning. He would bide his time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. One day, as the villagers were busy with their daily chores, a stranger arrived in Bil. He was a peddler, carrying a variety of goods and trinkets. The villagers welcomed him warmly, eager to see what he had to offer. The peddler, who was none other than Njomba in disguise, approached Keto with a seemingly harmless gift. It was a beautiful amulet, inlaid with precious stones and engraved with intricate designs. Njomba told Keto that it was a token of gratitude for his heroism and bravery. Keto, trusting and kind-hearted, accepted the gift without suspicion. He wore the amulet proudly, unaware that it was imbued with dark magic. Over time, the amulet began to affect Keto's thoughts and actions, clouding his judgment and weakening his connection to the river. The changes in Keto were subtle at first. He became more irritable and impatient, snapping at those who sought his counsel. His once clear visions became muddled, and his connection to Nyota grew faint. The villagers noticed the change in their beloved hero, but they attributed it to the pressures of leadership. One evening, as Keto sat by the river, he noticed something strange. The water, usually so clear and pure, had taken on a murky hue. Fish floated lifelessly on the surface, and an ominous feeling hung in the air. Keto knew that something was terribly wrong, but he couldn't understand what was causing it. Desperate for answers, Keto sought out Mama Asha. She listened to his concerns with a furrowed brow, sensing that there was more to the situation than met the eye. She examined the amulet that Keto wore and felt a chill run down her spine. She recognized the dark magic at work and knew that they were facing a new, unseen enemy. Mama Asha instructed Keto to remove the amulet immediately. She performed a cleansing ritual, using sacred herbs and chants to break the spell that had been cast upon him. As the ritual progressed, Keto felt the fog lifting from his mind, his connection to the river slowly being restored. With his clarity returning, Keto realized the gravity of the situation. He had been deceived and weakened by a malevolent force. He vowed to uncover the identity of the person behind the dark magic and protect his village from further harm. Mama Asha, wise and perceptive, had her suspicions about the stranger who had given Keto the amulet. She instructed Keto to gather the villagers and warn them of the danger they faced. Together, they would need to be vigilant and united in order to thwart the sorcerer's plans. Determined to confront the source of the dark magic, Keto and Mama Asha set out to find Njomba. They followed the trail of dark energy, which led them deep into the forest, far from the safety of the village. The journey was arduous, with treacherous paths and hidden dangers at every turn. After several days of searching, they stumbled upon a hidden cave. The air was thick with malevolence, and the ground was littered with the remnants of dark rituals. Keto and Mama Asha knew that they had found the sorcerer's lair. Inside the cave, Mjomba was busy preparing his next move. He had been watching Keto and the villagers, waiting for the right moment to strike. When he sensed their presence, he turned with a sneer, his eyes filled with malice. "So, you have found me," Mjomba said, his voice dripping with contempt. "But it is too late. The river's power will be mine, and there is nothing you can do to stop me." Keto stepped forward, his resolve unshaken. "You will not harm my village, Mjomba. I will not let you take the river's power." Mjomba laughed, a cold, hollow sound. "You are but a child, Keto. You may have defeated Nayoka, but you cannot defeat me." Mama Asha stood by Keto's side, her presence a source of strength and wisdom. "You underestimate the power of unity and the strength of the river goddess, Nyota," she said firmly. "Together, we will protect the river and our home." Mjomba sneered, summoning his dark magic. The cave erupted in a storm of shadows and fire, the air crackling with energy. Keto and Mama Asha braced themselves, ready to face the sorcerer's wrath. The battle that ensued was fierce and unrelenting. Keto and Mama Asha fought with all their might, drawing on the power of the river and their own inner strength. Mjomba's dark magic clashed with their pure energy, the cave trembling with the force of their conflict. Keto summoned the water from the river, using it to create a shield against Mjomba's attacks. Mama Asha chanted ancient spells, calling upon the spirits of the ancestors to aid them. The combined power of their efforts created a dazzling display of light and energy, pushing back the darkness. Mjomba, though powerful, was no match for the unity and determination of Keto and Mama Asha. With a final surge of energy, they overwhelmed the sorcerer, shattering his dark magic and banishing him from the cave. With Mjomba defeated, Keto and Mama Asha returned to the village, exhausted but triumphant. The villagers welcomed them with open arms, their hearts filled with gratitude and relief. The dark cloud that had hung over Mbil was lifted, and the village was once again at peace. Keto, though weary, felt a deep sense of accomplishment. He had faced his fears, protected his home, and fulfilled his destiny. He knew that there would be more challenges to come, but he was ready to face them with the strength and wisdom he had gained. In the days that followed, the river seemed to bless the village with even greater abundance. The water was clearer than ever, and the fish were plentiful. The villagers, grateful for Keto's heroism, built a new shrine by the river, dedicated to Nyota and Keto. Keto continued to train with Mama Asha, learning more about the river's magic and his own abilities. He felt a deep connection to the water, understanding that it was both a source of power and a reminder of his responsibility. As he grew older, he became a respected leader in the village, guiding and protecting his people with wisdom and courage. As time passed, Keto became known throughout the land as a great warrior and protector. His legend spread far and wide, inspiring others to stand up for what was right and to protect their homes and loved ones. Keto, though humbled by his fame, remained focused on his duties and responsibilities. Mama Asha, now older and wiser, continued to guide Keto and the villagers. She knew that the river's magic was a powerful and precious gift, and she worked tirelessly to ensure that it was used for the good of all. Together, Keto and Mama Asha helped to create a prosperous and harmonious community where everyone worked together for the greater good. One day, as Keto was patrolling the village, he noticed a strange figure lurking at the edge of the forest. It was a shadowy figure, cloaked in darkness, watching him with piercing eyes. Keto felt a chill run down his spine, sensing that a new threat was emerging. He approached the figure cautiously, ready for anything. The figure, sensing his approach, melted back into the shadows, disappearing from sight. Keto knew that this was no ordinary intruder, and he alerted Mama Asha and the villagers to the potential danger. In the days that followed, strange occurrences began to plague the village. Crops withered, livestock fell ill, and the river's water grew murky and foul. The villagers, frightened and confused, turned to Keto and Mama Asha for guidance. Mama Asha, sensing the return of dark magic, performed a divination ritual to uncover the source of the trouble. She saw a vision of a powerful sorcerer, cloaked in darkness, plotting to take control of the river's magic. The sorcerer, known as Zubari, was even more powerful and malevolent than Njomba. Keto knew that they had to act quickly to protect the village. He gathered the warriors and hunters, preparing them for the battle ahead. Mama Asha worked tirelessly to strengthen their defenses and to ward off the dark magic that was seeping into their land. The villagers, though frightened, stood united in their determination to protect their home. They knew that they had faced great challenges before and had emerged victorious. With Keto and Mama Asha leading them, they were ready to face whatever came their way. As Keto and the warriors prepared for battle, Zubari watched from the shadows, plotting his next move. He knew that he needed to weaken Keto and the villagers before he could take control of the river's magic. He devised a cunning plan to lure them into a trap. One night, as Keto was patrolling the village, he heard a faint cry for help coming from the forest. He followed the sound, his heart pounding with fear and determination. As he ventured deeper into the forest, he realized too late that he had walked into a trap. Zubari appeared before Keto, his eyes gleaming with malice. "You are brave, Keto, but you are no match for me," he sneered. "I will take the river's power, and there is nothing you can do to stop me." Keto, though cornered, refused to back down. "I will protect my village and the river, no matter what it takes," he declared. "You will not succeed, Zubari." Zubari laughed, summoning his dark magic. The forest erupted in a storm of shadows and fire, the air crackling with energy. Keto, drawing on his training and the power of the river, prepared to face the sorcerer in a battle of wits and strength. The battle that ensued was intense and unrelenting. Keto and Zubari clashed with a force that shook the forest, their powers colliding in a dazzling display of light and darkness. Keto summoned the water from the river, using it to create a shield against Zubari's attacks. Zubari, in turn, unleashed his dark magic, trying to overwhelm Keto with shadows and fire. Despite the odds, Keto refused to give up. He knew that he had to protect his home and fulfill his destiny. With a final surge of energy, he unleashed a powerful wave that engulfed Zubari, pushing the sorcerer back into the depths of the forest. With Zubari defeated, Keto returned to the village, exhausted but triumphant. The villagers welcomed him with open arms, their hearts filled with gratitude and relief. The dark cloud that had hung over Mbil was lifted, and the village was once again at peace. Keto, though weary, felt a deep sense of accomplishment. He had faced his fears, protected his home, and fulfilled his destiny. He knew that there would be more challenges to come, but he was ready to face them with the strength and wisdom he had gained.